So I have already started with that chapter illumination. So almost I have discussed I have discussed about different different types of illuminations. Types means what are the most important terminologies of the illuminations. Okay. Then gradually I will discuss about different types. Types means what are the different sources of light. Okay, then after that I will discuss about the laws of illuminations, then some numerical problem I've discussed in my last class. All of you I think are to starting your simulation, sorry, numerical problem I discussed in my last class. I think all of you have started with that numerical problem. Today discussed about one numerical, then I'll discuss some of the little portions of that different different laws governing for the illuminations of different types of source. Means what are the different types of source. Okay, that I'll discuss in my today's class. Then polar curve. Okay, means then candle power distributions, how it will be look like that, what are the different types of polar curve. Okay, so after that I'll discuss about MSCP and MECP, so horizontal and spherical. Okay, candle powers diagrams on the polar curve, then some basic calculations on it. Okay, after that different lighting, what are the different laws of that. Okay, for the lighting, so that portion I will discuss in my today's class. Okay, so I think it is in my last class I discussed about some numerical problems and some laws of illuminations and some numerical problem based on the laws of illuminations. One numerical problem was pending basically. So all of you please note it down in your classwork copy. So that problem is perfectly diffusing. Okay, diffusing surface has a illumination intensity of 10 candles. Okay. So diffusion surface means there are two types, reflector and diffusions. Means you know that illumination totally based on that laws of light. Okay, so same kinds of things are there. So diffusions normally that will depend for your uneven surface. Okay, so that's why it is written the perfectly diffusing surface has the illumination intensity of 10 candles at an angle is given, that is 60 degree to the normal. This angle also be given. So all of you please know, note it down. Okay, if the area of the surface is given 100 centimeters square, determine the brightness and the total flux radiated. Okay, that you have to find out. So here the diagram is there. So that initially it was in there A, so theta shift is there. You can see that theta setting is there. Now the surface is there A dash. Actually it is A dash. A dash equal to A cos theta. So initially you know the brightness you have considered for A, B, or defines the illumination, it defined as the illumination luminous intensity divided by the projected area. The intensity is given, so luminous into 10 candle, this is the candle, 10 candles, it is there. 10 candela, and projected area also be there. If it is A, so initially it was A, so it is A cos theta. So you can replace them. So you know the value of A is given 100 centimeters square. So 100 into cos 60. So that is 50 centimeters square. It is your projected area, and your flux density you have to find out the brightness. Determine the brightness. Brightness means your luminous density. Okay, so luminous density you need to find out. So it is your 10. 10 is already given. 10 candles. Then area you are also getting, that is 50. So 10 to why 10 to the minus 4, basically candela is your SI unit. Now it is centimeter. So you have to multiply 10 to the power minus 4. So 10 square, 10 to the minus 2 whole square. So 10 to the minus 4. So B you are getting, so value B equal to 2 into 10 cube candle per meter square. Okay, candela per meter square. So 2 pi into 10 cube lumens per meter square. So that value is coming like that one. Okay. Again you are converting candle to lumen. Okay, so the total flux radiated, so basically 2 pi 10 cube that B into that area you are given, so it is your 10 centimeters square, so sorry 100 centimeters square, 110 to the power minus 4, so it is coming 68.2 lumen. Okay, I think simple problem you can all of you able to understand. You can calculate it, and when you are preparing, actually within next week maybe, so that illumination will be completed. So after that, you have to submit the class note on it. So day to day you should update it. Okay. Then what are the important laws for governing the illumination for the different sources? Basically, you know that ones, you know that your illuminations is depends upon the sources. Okay, so what type of sources you are using? Okay, so why it is important? If you have not mentioned about the source, then by default it is considered as a point source. Okay, but normally what happens if you think in your home, so you are using the smart lighting. Okay, so not smart lighting, so you are using different lighting, means fluorescent lamp is there, then you know that LED lamp, then initially there is an incandescent lamp. So sometimes in your local different occasions is there if in your family, so you are using some mercury lamp, okay, sodium vapor lamp, so different vapor lamps you are using. So as per your applications, okay, so where you are using different lamps. Okay, so then sort of different subs of source are there, so that is important. Okay, so based on the source your mathematical calculations may be different. Basically nothing else, basically you have to consider some multiplications with on it, so automatically it will be converted. Okay, so what happens? So you know that first laws of governing illumination different sources. The law applicable to the illumination produced by the following three types of sources. So you have considered three types of sources. So first one is the point source. So point source is there. Second one is your line source. Another one is your, that is given, it is your surface source. So three types of there. So point source, line source and surface source. So in case of point source, in day one we are considering everything, we are doing all the calculation based on your point source. Okay, so that's why you have considered that E means illuminations equal to I cos theta, okay, by d square. So d is your distance, means radius. Sometimes in math class I discussed on it also. Okay, height of that one means point source to the surface where it is reflected. Then in case of line source, illumination formula just it will be the changed. Okay, so provided the line source, the infinite length. Okay, so you know that one, so infinite length and uniform intensity you should consider. Okay, like your line integral, when you are doing the integral, so different line integral, area integral, then volume integral. So that conversion are there. Okay, so in case of line source, you have to consider that infinite length and uniform intensity. The illumination at a point lying on the surface. Okay, what you have written? So illumination at a point lying on the surface parallel to and facing the line source given by. So E is illumination equal to pi I by 2d lumen per meter square. That's the formula. Directly it is coming from that formula. So where I equal to luminous intensity normal to the line source in candle per meter length of the source. Okay, so luminous intensity normal to the line source in candle per meter length of the sources. That's the formula. Okay, so here you can see different points are there, two figures are there. Okay, figure A and figure B. Okay, so in figure B you can see both are 2D figure, but it's a 3D figure. Okay, so figure you know that one. So length L is there, L and D means distance. Okay, that L considered. So L means how much length is there from that point sources. Theta is there. Okay, so now practice the line source of the finite length. So following laws will be applied. For figure A means considerations at that condition. So figure A, so consideration from only one point. Okay, so aim is your midpoint. Here you can see that aim is the one extreme point. Here you can see that aim means projected point is the midpoint. Okay, so for condition 1 formula is equals to I by 4d sine 2 theta plus 2 theta lumen per meter square. Okay, for condition 2, that is your condition 2, two figures are there, projected area. So more or less both of the cases, if you make the 3D to 2D, so this formula will come in. So I by 2D sine 2 theta plus 2 theta lumen per meter square. Okay, that is for the figure B, where I equal to what? Candle per candle power per meter length in the direction of the normal of the line source. That is your I. I is given here, the value of I. Okay, so that is 5 by pi square by L. You know that formula. So pi square by that formula is coming from the cylindrical actually. Okay, so phi is the total illuminating flux. Okay, phi is what? Total flux of the source line in lumen. L is the length of the line in meter. So both the case L of the line, length of the line. Okay, so direct if you put that formula, you can calculate that one. Okay, next point is the surface source. So first we have discussed about the point source, then line source, now surface source. Okay, so source behaves like a surface. Okay, so how it will be look like that? Provide the surface source is of the infinite area. So you have considered the area is infinite and the uniform brightness. Okay, so illumination at 80 point facing the source is independent to the distance between the point and the surface source. Okay, so you know that one. So distance between the points and the surface of the source. Okay, you have to calculate. So mathematically its value is E by pi L lumen per meter square. Okay, so illumination is there, pi L lumen per meter square, where L is the luminance of the surface source in candle per meter square. In this case, you can see, in this case surface source is limited rectangular shapes, laws given by the luminous point at the P. So you can see that formula that it is coming, P point is there. Okay, so from that figure, actually figure B, okay, point P is there. So surface you have considered, so that's why it is in 3D mode. Okay, so what is your illumination? E equal to L by 2, it is coming alpha dash sine beta plus beta dash sine alpha. Okay, it's like that formula is there. Okay, so alpha beta you can consider alpha equal to angle APD. Alpha equal to what? Angle APD. This angle alpha equal to angle APD. Then alpha dash equal to angle BPC. Alpha dash equal to angle BPC. So this is your BPC, means it is your alpha dash. This angle is your alpha dash. It is your alpha. Okay, this is your alpha. This angle is BPC. It is your alpha dash. Okay, and beta equal to APB, angle APB. So angle APB. So it is your beta angle. It is your beta angle APB. Okay, so it is alpha beta and lesser one. So DPC, angle DPC also be there, that will be your beta dash. So you can understand, if it is alpha, the opposite one is your alpha dash, upper one is a beta, so just lower one is a, it's like a pyramid. Okay, beta, later one is the beta dash. Okay, so it may be noted that a point source produces the deep shadows which may, so however cancelled by installation of the large number of fittings. Okay, usually the glare is present. So however the point source are the great practical importance where the actual light control is required in the searchlights. So that's why point source we are using. Okay, so it can expand more. So from this figure you can see, if you are using point source P, so it will be expanded more. Okay, with the angles. Okay, that's why it is using. So line source gives, okay, so line source gives the more diffusion, but the cast shadow of the object lying parallel to them for hindering vision. So in case of line source, shadows will be overlapped like that way. Okay, and large area surface source throughout the generally low brightness. Large area surface source is the low brightness, produce minimum glare but no shadows. Okay, however the final effect is not liveliness but one of the deadness. Okay, so how much eye soothing your lighting is there, that is the main motivations. Okay, so you can understand. So what are the different type of sources and where you are going to be implemented and how they are benefited. Okay, so if you go through it, any of the books, so you can understand. Definitely, you can better understand. So my suggestion is that simultaneously you keep starting. You keep start the reading of your illumination. Okay, otherwise after certain time you are not able to understand. And the numerical problems, you have to solve the numerical problems of the illumination side by side. Okay, so some notes are there. Okay, note two notes are there, note 1 and note 2. What are the notes? It is written the distance d is more than 5 times of the greatest dimensions of the source, then the irrespective of its shape. So distance is more than 5 times dimensions. When distance is more, 5 times more of the dimension of the source. Okay, the illumination is found to obey the inverse square law. You know that inverse square law, it is found. So this would be the case of the illuminations at the point 5 meters. Okay, at point 5 meters or more for the fluorescent tube of the length is 1 meter. Okay, so I think you are able to understand. So last point, so for the illumination points for the 5 meters or more away from the fluorescent tube of the length is 1 meter. Okay, second point, in this case of the surface, the large area such as the illumination daylights. Okay, that illumination daylights covering the whole ceiling. Okay, a large room, whole ceiling of the large room, and illumination is found the practically constant at the irrespective height of the workspace. So you can see in case of any of the shopping mall, any of the big office, the skylight, it is called the skylight. Okay, so normally skylight is if you see in case of shopping malls, so a lot of means the area, middle of the area is normally vacant. Okay, so if you just feed the skylight, the top of the roof. So what happen in morning time? You can see the area, total area will be automatically from that light. Automatically it will be glowing. Okay. So that's the applications. Okay, based on that application, so that is called surface source. Actually, in this case, point source you can find out that the point is there. So from where you are getting the source. Then line source you can say like that, a tube light, fluorescent lamp like that. It's an example of a line source. Okay, so there are different contents, lot of points. Okay, line source contains lot of points. Okay, lot of illuminating points. Okay, so that's why they are if they are combining, the images are combining like that way. Okay, and you are not getting the proper shadow line source, but point source you are getting the shadow properly. Okay, but sometimes what happen, eye soothing, no? So if you getting the intensity is distributed, same thing, but intensity is distributed in light source. So it is more eye soothing. Okay, so if you see that LED lamp, so it is not eye soothing, but if you use that good reflector, okay, if dimming effect is there, so it is very good. The wattage is very less, within 2 to 9 watt. Okay, so it is wattage is very less and it will be give you some good combinations of the source light and the shadows are there. And then surface source is the, you can say like that, from surface it is coming, like you can consider like sun. Okay, or one dim light is connected in the hall. Okay, like that way. So it is surface, it is spread throughout the surface. Okay, now how do you understand that CP means candle power distribution? So you have to use some polar curves. Okay, so if you have the polar curve, so you can if you using some polar curve, so you can find out that CP means candle power distributions. Okay, that is an important issue. So different angles are there. So from day one, from beginning, I am telling you, so solid angle, no? So it totally depends upon the solid angle and the direction of the light. Okay, in which direction light is means you are getting the light in the directions. Okay, so based on that, so normally you know that vertical and horizontal, that is two common one distribution. Light distribution is vertical and another distribution is horizontal candle power. So it would like to realize that the different It gives the three-dimensional model, graphical representation such as three-dimensional model in the plane surface. So plane surface is there, so it is a plane surface. So plane surface means that 180 degree surface. So if you consider only one surface, okay, plane surface means any of the plane surface. Okay, therefore it as with the engineering drawing, they usually draw only for one or two more elevations. So engineering drawing, maybe it should be the 3D. Normally we are not going for the 3D, but 3D possible, but normally we are using the 2D. So the distribution as well as the angle, okay, angle wise distribution you have to calculate, and the plan of the section through the center of the source. That means center, the source is in your center here. Okay, this is the source. Here you know source. Okay, so this wing type thing, what is this wing type thing? It is your reflector. Okay, these two are the reflector. Okay, it is your source and reflector. So that's why blocking out. Okay, here there is no reflector, so all the light is spreaded towards the angles, means throughout the directions, 0 degree, 30 degree, 60 degree, then 90 degree, 120 degree, 150 degree, both the side, positive as well as negative. Okay, negative is not mentioned here, but both the side, 180, then it will be negative 30 degree, 60 degree, 90 degree, 120 degree, 150. Otherwise 360 degree it is coming like that. Okay, if you are using reflector here, so it will be blocking. So here you know that reflector is there, so there is blocking. So you are getting the candle power Cp in y dash plane. So it is your x dash plane. Okay, so you are blocking that y dash plane. You have blocking with the reflector. Okay, so that candle power you are getting in the which plane? Y dash plane. So this portion is already blocked. So the polar curves are there. Here you can get that value. Then you have to find out the candle power with the based on the previous formulas. How much Cp is there? So you can find out that candle powers. Okay, with the angle distributions are there. So both the cases it is zigzag. It is total sphere. Okay, that is second one is the zigzag. It is zigzag configuration of polar graph. Okay. Third one it is your x dash plane. Say candle power in x dash plane. Basically this plane x dash plane means this plane is blocked with that reflector. You know that reflector is there, so no light is there, so there is no light in the y side. Okay, positive y side, so it is x dash candle power. Okay, so elevations means top view. Okay, sorry, elevations means front view. You know that elevations means front view means what you have elevated. Okay, so elevations represent that candle power distribution in the vertical plane. The planes respect the candle power distribution in horizontal plane. The number of the elevation required to give the complete idea on the candle power distribution of the source in all the directions depends upon the shape of the plane. That means on the horizontal distributions. Okay, if the distribution is uniform in the every horizontal plane, that means the polar curve is horizontal distribution is a circle. Then only one vertical curve is sufficient to give full idea of the space distributions. Okay, so equal distribution of the light means you can say like that it is properly circle. But if it is not equal, means in some cases also be there, in some light diagram is there. Okay, for this type of light, okay, it is not equal distribution, that is tilde, no? So it is not the equal distribution, so in that case you are not getting the circle. Okay, so you are getting this type of thing, so uneven conditions you can observe. So I think all of you are able to understand the diagram of the polar curve for the candle power distributions. Okay, some formulas also be there, based on that formula you can calculate that value. So at the time of exam, that numerical problem may come based on this type of shape and figures. Okay, so what are the uses of the polar curve? Important points. What are the most important uses? So polar curves are made. Okay, polar curves are made to use of the determine the MSCP. Okay, so you know that formula of MSCP. Okay, spherical means spherical candle power. Okay, so that I told you in first class in the definitions. Okay, so solid angle, okay, total distributions, okay, solid angle. So three things are there: spherical candle power, mean spherical candle power, mean hemispheric spherical candle power, and mean horizontal candle power, MHCP. So three things are there. Okay, so you have to calculate it. Okay, so based on that calculation, so you can plot it to the polar curve, or if you have that polar curve, you can get the value directly. MSCP, MHSCP, and MHCP. So three things you can directly calculate from the graph. Okay. So what are the determinations of MSCP and MHCP and the polar diagram? Okay, so the polar curves made use of the determine MSCP so for the source. They are also used in the determining the actual illuminations of the surface. That means while calculating the illuminations in the perpendicular particular directions, that means the CP is the particular direction as read from the vertical polar curve, okay, which should be employed. So vertical polar curve is there, so you have to employ it on it, you have to calculate on it. So what is your MSCP, how we are getting value of MSCP? The MSCP is taken by the mean reading, okay, from figure A. So figure A it is there, mean reading you have to calculate, okay. Horizontal CP, so mean horizontal candle power. However, a more accurate result can be obtained, okay, can be obtained by plotting the candle power on the angular based on the rectangular axis and by determining the mean height of the curve by mid-oriented or the Simpson rules, okay. So we have to calculate it by using the Simpson rules. Last class I have discussed that rules, okay. And MSCP is the mean spherical candle power. The lamp can be obtained from the vertical polar curve, okay, vertical polar curve of the figure B by Russian construction explained below. So one by one you can calculate it, okay. Both the cases are there, case A, case 2. Okay, so here you know that one spherical reductions function and MSCP, the formula is there, area of the Russian figure and length of the base. Russian figure means this one, that Russian figure you have to calculate that we. Okay, so candle power is there, it is M, so one projection is there from the angle wise projection, okay. So that is A, F, C, E, D, all our projections are there. So with is there MSCP, how much value is there? It is 430. Then Russian figure is there, G and H. So from that one you can get that value MHS, okay, mean hemispheric candle power is 800. So if you are able to place all those value here, MSCP is area of Russian figure by the length of the base, okay, length of the base, how much base is there. So it is your candle power. So polar curve, it is your source. So from here you can calculate all those value. Okay, spherical reduction factor F is there. It is F equal to MSCP or divided by MHCP. So MSCP equal to F into MHCP. So you can, if you have those values, just consideration, one consideration is there. As for example, for the particular lamp, for this one, it is given that F equal to what? MSCP is given, that is 430. Okay, MSCP is given that 430. Okay, and MHCF is 800 and MHCP is there 80. Okay, MHCP is also be considered as a 80 given. Okay, so you can replace them. Okay, if you replace both of them, your F is coming 0.5. Okay. So the typical value factors are the ordinary vacuum type of tungsten lamp having zigzag filament. Okay, so their value is there 0.76 to 0.78. Okay, gas filled tungsten lamp which filament form of the bird shadow VS. So the values are there. Okay, so total lumens output, then gas filled tungsten lamp with filament shape of the horizontal link. Okay, all the values are there. Finally you can find out the lumens output. Okay, that 4 pi into MSCP, you know the formula, previous formula just they are using. Okay, then present case the lumen output 4 pi into 430. So MSCP is given that 430, this one 430 is given. So it is multiplied, so it is coming 5405 lumen. Okay, so by that way you can calculate it, calculate the candle power by using the polar curve as well as the spherical reduction factor. You can also calculate. Okay, and different mean candle power you can also get that value. Okay, so next one is your diffusion reflecting surface. So there is a some lot of write up on it, so I am not going to take that one. Basically, you know the basic formula of light, sorry, basic laws of reflections. Refractions is not considered here. Basically, you are using reflector. Okay, so you are using reflector means you should consider that there is no reflection. Okay, so the light is not entering to the surface. Okay, so that is your preliminary prerequisite. So two types of surface may be observed. One is smooth, another is uneven surface. Okay, codes are there. Okay, so uneven surface, you can see it is one. You can see in inhale of the incident light. This is called that incident light. Another, this is called the reflected light. Okay, if it is 90-degree incident, so same way it will be reflected. Okay, 90-degree to 90-degree. But in case of some angular difference is there of the incident light, so same angular difference will be followed in the reflected light. Okay, so it is in case of uneven surface. This is your uneven surface. From the uneven surface, what happened? That light beams are coming and it is diffused. Okay, so different direction, it is diffused in the different direction. You can see it is diffused. Okay, coming, then it is diffused. Okay, so two conditions are there, one is smooth, another one is coarse. Okay, so then by reflecting factors it is coming the reflected light whole divided by incident light. And what are the different types of lights are there? So you know that one, that reflector also be there. Here you know that is the surface portion is the reflector. Okay, so that first you can see the first type of light. So this most of the cases all are using in the industrial. Okay, then that pointed light, so it is reflecting that portion, so dotted lines are there. So after reflecting, okay, angular deflections. Okay, so that deflection certain manner, so perpendicular it is coming back. Okay, not perpendicular of this line, but it is, if you see the perpendicular, the angle with the cases will be same. Okay, so coming back and it will be again some points are there, so it will be then here you know that some surface is there, so light is entering and it will be again diffused in the different directions. Okay, that's the way. Okay, normally it is used for the different lighting infrastructure for the industrial aspects. Okay, so both the cases you know that reflectors are there. Here you know it is transparent, so all the light is coming back from here. Okay, not coming back, it is passing from that surface. Okay, transparent surface. Here you know that there is the reflectors are there throughout the surface. Okay, so light are coming, no transparent part, so no light will be coming back here. So all lights are there. Okay, coming back. So same type of concepts, another lights are there. So here you know that some angles are there. So due to the angles, so the light distribution will be different. So somehow some of the applications are there. That's why this type of configuration is considered for the industrial. So in my next class, I discussed about the different lighting schemes. Okay, so what are the lighting schemes are there? So I'll discuss in my next class. Okay, I think this is enough for today. So if you have any confusion, you can write in the chat box. So if possible, so I can give you some of the answer on it. Okay, so otherwise I think this is simple portion. Till now I have discussed all are the very simple portions, and I think you can get idea from that one. So from that illumination chapter. So my suggestion, side by side, you should keep studying on it. Okay, so if you are able to study it, so you will be benefited. Okay, basically at the time of exam, some theory will become, some numerical problem will become. Okay, based on that patterns. So I think you should keep study in your home. Okay, and try to prepare your fair copy. Fair copy means that classwork copy is a fair copy. Okay, so one exam again I will take one exam will be conducted and that date will be declared. Okay, so that class test. Okay, so after completions of that illumination, I think I am planning for another examinations. Okay, means class test. Okay, so let's see what happened. So side by side you should study well, and you should keep means and prepare yourself. Okay, basically the class note I am telling you, so that is very good if you prepare yourself and up to date, make your class note up to date, so it will be beneficial to you. Okay, thank you. Today I can complete session here.